Welcome to Tab Briefs, a weekly look at headlines from the world of faith for October 16th, 2020. I'm Tab Media Content Editor Carrie McWhorter, and here are some of the headlines that grabbed our attention this week. In international news, government officials in the Netherlands want to expand the country's euthanasia laws to allow the practice for terminally ill children between the ages of 1 and 12. Euthanasia is already legal in the Netherlands for children older than 12 with mandatory consent from the patient and his or her parents. Euthanasia is also legal for babies up to a year old with parental consent. On Tuesday, the Dutch health minister said the rule change would prevent some children from, in his words, suffering hopelessly and unbearably. But the proposed expansion of the nation's already liberal euthanasia laws has proven extremely controversial. There has also been strong opposition from minority conservative Christian groups in the country that World Atlas calls one of the most unreligious countries in the world. The Netherlands is a predominantly atheist country, with about 67% of the population claiming no religious affiliation. Dutch health officials said around 5 to 10 children a year would be affected by the broadened euthanasia rules. The change is expected to be implemented in the next few months. Euthanasia and assisted suicide have been legal in the Netherlands since 2002, and neighboring Belgium followed suit months later. The Netherlands and Belgium were the first countries in the world to legalize the practice. In 2014, Belgium became the first country to allow for voluntary child euthanasia if the child is terminally ill and in great pain, and if doctors have parental consent. The Netherlands introduced the same rule for children over the age of 12 shortly afterwards. Turning to U.S. news, churches with a past or current affiliation with Boy Scouts of America may need to consider their next steps related to the organization's plan to deal with allegations of child sexual abuse. Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy in February after paying more than $150 million in settlements related to child sexual abuse. Those payouts were made between 2017 and 2009 and prior to the bankruptcy filing. Now, most of the alleged abuse dates to the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, which was before the Boy Scouts implemented strict youth protection plans, including mandatory criminal background checks for leaders, extensive youth protection training, and mandatory reporting of abuse allegations. So far, more than 12,000 boys have alleged abuse by scoutmasters or other leaders since the 1920s, according to court testimony. Currently, the Boy Scouts of America and their insurance companies are working out a plan in bankruptcy court to compensate victims, according to an attorney who spoke with Tab Media. The expected plan is that Boy Scouts of America and its insurance companies will put money into a trust fund to pay out for current and future claims. The deadline for filing those claims in the court is November 16th. But what is uncertain is how claims made after the November 16th deadline will be handled. Another point of uncertainty is whether current or past chartering organizations, which include many churches, could be sued in the future. Churches who currently charter a Boy Scout troop or who have chartered a troop in the past, whether they have ever had allegations of abuse or not, may want to seek legal counsel to determine if they should file what would essentially be a placeholder claim in the current proceedings to protect themselves in the event of future claims, the Tab Media attorney who spoke to us said. And we'll post a link to the official bsaclaims.com website where you can read more about those claims. And finally, in Baptist news, Lifeway Christian Resources has reached an agreement to sell Ridgecrest Conference Center and summer camps to a newly formed nonprofit, the Ridgecrest Foundation. The two groups plan to complete the transfer of the North Carolina property and ministries by the end of 2020, although terms of the agreement were not yet announced. Lifeway said in April that it would sell the venerated retreat center in North Carolina. Lifeway officials said they hoped from the beginning to find a buyer that would continue to offer a Christian conference center environment and continue the boys and girls camps Ridgecrest is known for. The new foundation says it will do just that. The independent nonprofit ministry was created by individuals who are passionate about the mission of the conference center and camps and are committed to supporting the ongoing ministries of Ridgecrest, Lifeway CEO Ben Mandrell said in a statement. Those are your Tab briefs for October 16, 2020. To read more news from the world of faith, go to tabonline.org and follow Tab Media on all our social media channels. We appreciate you joining us this morning, and we hope to see you again next Friday.